Welcome to Salaam Nerds Podcast. We do reviews and recaps of your favorite TV shows, movies, and current events.
Yo, it's the Salaam Nerds. My name is Steve, aka Watch the Beat. I'm here, my boy Jazz.
We drop live episodes on YouTube on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to all our supporters. Please help us by subscribing and leaving a good review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All episodes can also be found everywhere podcasts are found.
Yo, Salaam Nerds. It's your boy Neeps, aka Watch Beneath, and I'm here with my co-host Jeff, aka DJ Matchmaker.
DJ Matchmaker, let's go. You know what, Neeps? We keep talking about it. We got to get into the business.
We got to get into the rest of the business because it's popping.
It's popping.
We got all these apps. We got all of these like events, and now we have our very own Muslim, quote unquote, dating show. It's not dating,
quote unquote. Okay,
it's not dating. That's the most controversial part. It's not dating. Okay.
Oh my god.
But it's kind of dating.
It's my definition dating. Ugh.
It's not. Okay. First of all, it's not dating. Okay, because you're it's a courtship. Okay, that's what it is. It's a courtship.
Oh, okay.
Let's get into this later.
All right. Listen, we got to introduce our guest. She did an immense breakdown of the show, breaking it down for everybody, putting it on her TikTok and her Instagram. Did a great job at it. Welcome back to the show, Shiv.
Thanks for having me, guys. I missed you, man. Wow.
I know.
It's been forever.
What are the last time we had you here? You were here for Indian matchmaking, and now you're back for Muslim matchmaking.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't even think about that until I was getting ready for this episode. I was like, when's the last time I talked to them?
I know.
I'm only here to make commentary on matchmaking shows, apparently.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, the cat's out of the bag. You may have seen the trailer. You may have seen the 1 second of airtime that I've gotten. I am on the show, Muslim Matchmaker. Woo!
And Neebs, are you married?
What?
Are you married right now?
I can't say. Watch
that's
out for an
very
announcement.
clear NDA violation.
Yeah. I actually
you guys watch The Bachelor, you know.
I actually was not even allowed to talk about the show after it airs or anything, or even do a podcast on it after reading my contract. And then I turned it down. I was like, listen, I would rather talk about the show than be on the show. So I actually turned it down the first time around. And then they came back with me and they gave me an addendum to my podcast and said that I can actually do podcasts about it.
Wow.
Especially since I've done a podcast previously about the same subject. So we've done previous episodes of Indian Matchmaker. So it's in the same realm of what we're doing. So we could do this. I had my buddy Salman write up a contract for me and everything. So that was cool. So I have reached out, and a lot of people from the show, once it airs, a week after it airs, will start coming on our show and talking about it. Huda, who is one of the matchmakers, she will be on. Huda, yeah. And Huda. And then also some of the women that I quote unquote dated will be on the show. And they'll give you the tea about
Oh my god, hold on. Women plural? I'm writing notes, sorry. Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe a woman.
Oh, woman. And also people I didn't date will also be on there. So yes, plural women. There'll be a few women. There's some that I dated and some that I did not.
Nice.
So we'll see. It'll be fun. I have actually met people who were all from the show, and it was really awkward because I can't say anything because I have an NDA. They can't say anything because I have an NDA, and they were kind of just like, "Wait, do you know something?" And they're like, "Wait, do you know something?" And I was like, "What do you know?" They're like, "What do you know?"
What I know, but do you know what I know?
I know it was very interesting, and production was not happy about us finding each other, but we did. We found pretty much each other after the show finished.
You're spilling way too much tea way too early on. I'm telling you right now.
I know.
Nothing he said has given anything away about the show, though. Like this is good.
It has incited many questions. Is all I'm saying. Like my notes app is booming right now. That's all.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not giving away anything. I'm not giving away anything at all. But like obviously, like people hang out, so there's no secret. Like especially the Muslim community, it's small. Like you go to an event, you're gonna meet somebody who's been on something, or you've seen them before. They know somebody Like that's just how it is. It's a very incestual community. So I don't know what to say about that.
That's a word choice.
That's what I say about New York all the time, because New York is like, that's why you can't date in New York. It's very incestual. Like basically, if you date one person in one friend group, you're pretty much off the table for everyone in that friend group, which is
really.
Yeah, that's how it is in New York. If you have a conscience and you're not an F-boy, yeah.
Oh, no, because, like, in our friend group, like, sometimes we're going to date somebody, like, hey, it's not a good match, but I know it's other guy who's going to be fantastic for you, and we just introduce them, and, like, sometimes it works out.
Yeah, but that's like going on a date. That's not dating, right?
Okay.
That's the thing with New York. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and it's going somewhere, then you kind of can't. Is that somebody's ex? It just gets a little messy. I
don't know. We're definitely here.
Jazz doesn't care. He just leaves destruction in his wake. All right. Well, we just saw we just saw the trailer. It blew me away, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, I expected like a low budget like reality show or something like that, but like the cinematography is so beautiful, the camera shots are so beautiful, the coloring is beautiful. It is so nice looking. It is so nice to look at.
You have to remember that Indian Matchmaking was nominated for an Emmy, and there's a reason for that.
Exactly.
So,
I just think everybody has terrible taste. All right, there we go. I hate everybody.
The camera crew knew what they're doing. I was surprised. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be like that. I was like,
I will say the cinematography, all that is good. I just didn't like the format of like the quick cuts and.
Sure. I think they did it to make fun. Like, they're like
very reality.
Want it to not. Yeah, that's like reality TV. They don't want it to be
exactly.
Serious.
It's so formulaic. It's exactly stereotypical reality TV. I was like, do we have something different?
I feel like you're saying it's formulaic because possibly you've seen it on Indian Matchmaking, but that's the same show. It's a spinoff. So why wouldn't it be the same formula?
Why not be unique, yo?
I mean, the subject itself is unique. It's a very different experience to be a Muslim and date. So you don't need to go the extra mile and be different just for the sake of being different. Shiv, what are your thoughts about what's your thoughts about the trailer?
That point of like to do something different, to be different, like I feel like the whole point also with this show, and obviously I have a question about this in terms of representation, but like is to blend in with everything else, because the whole point is to normalize Muslim people, right? It's not to like other them.
Exactly.
Making
like,
it different in that category.
Jazz wanted to hear a bunch of like dinga 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 like a freaking.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
No, he's too Americanized for him. No, that's not what.
It was way too American for me. I wanted more culture. I wanted more kebabs. I wanted more like masalas everywhere. Like
Jazz wants an Oriental take on this.
Yellow filter. That's it. I feel like the kebabs are in the actual show. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to make the whitest version of this because it's kind of like Jewish matchmaking. Like, again, another spinoff where it's like, again, so many people tuned into that because even if I'm not Jewish, like I saw the trailer and I'm like, it's just another version of matchmaking that I will watch, like, so that's probably.
I had the same criticism for that show.
The thing about this show is that it's a show to learn about people's cultures, but if they're using dating, quote unquote dating, as a vehicle to keep you engaged, right?
How many times are you gonna put quotes this episode?
I'm gonna say quotes under dating because technically dating is haram. You can't date, and that's not what we did.
It's literally one of my questions. How haram is this show?
How haram is this show?
I mean, from what I heard on this trailer,
there's some spiciness in this trailer. There really is. Not me. I kept the halal.
Oh,
You were on there for 1 second, jumping in the air.
I have the most halal scene that you could have in the entire scene, where I basically just bowl a strike, which I did. It's not edited. I actually bowled a strike, and I celebrate. I do.
How many takes was that? How many takes?
Listen, it took the whole game. It took every single. It took the last frame.
That's hilarious.
I'm not even joking. That's 100% true.
I guess you should have spin the ball, man.
My first thoughts on the trailer is that I'm really intrigued by the matchmakers because they're young. Because Jewish matchmaking and Indian matchmaking, like, not to be ageist here, but like, you know, they were on the older side, and like you're talking about 30-something-year-old, you know, so like I feel
my matchmaker was younger than me. That's embarrassing.
But I also feel like culturally that does kind of make sense, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like South Asians in general, like at least of a previous generation, they used to get married a lot younger. So like, maybe that is like something to take into consideration. But like, I just feel like they have that energy that makes you want to watch the show. So that's kind of why.
Yeah. So someone's in the comments says Seema Auntie will show up in the last episode of Thanos to collect all the matches will be.
Yeah.
The multiverse of matchmaking.
This is a crossover later on.
That's
I kind of would love
funny.
I would love that
too. That actually would be funny. Instead of the Infinity Stone, she's just collecting like engagement rings. Oh man, that is so funny. No, it is true. They are young. Is Yasmin and Huda? You see him in the trailer.
Huda.
Very funny. I think I got lucky. I got the nice one. I heard Yasmin is a little tough. I heard she's tough. So like I got the nice one.
Honest? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's probably more honest.
Okay.
My matchmaker was being delusional, fueling my delusion. You're a great catch, Neve. You're amazing.
Hey,
okay, but you are.
Come on.
Well,
mashallah.
Wait till you see a few more episodes. Then come back. Come back.
You know, I've never actually seen you on a date, so yeah, maybe.
The mistakes were made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is honestly, I really enjoy being on the show. It was just the time after the show that was nerve-wracking, because this show was filmed like almost over a year ago. So like that's how long it took to come out. And you know, while doing it, it's so much fun getting mic'd up and like seeing them set up the lighting. It's amazing seeing them get like camera shots and like how they get camera shots and what camera shots look cool. Like if I'm driving, they're like, oh, if you go underneath the bridge, the shadow will come over your face and it'll look really cool. And I was like, what? Bet, let's do it. And I just like drove around in circles. Like it's just like cool things that you don't know about production unless you've been a part of one. It was an amazing experience. That part was really, really cool. The part that was not super cool was like, you know, waiting, and then like, you know, as you're waiting, you're living your life, you're moving on, other things are happening.
Sorry, you said it was a year ago for sure that it filmed. Like that's when you started.
Yeah, it was a year ago. It was in, I believe, for some people it was even earlier, but for me, I believe like beginning of December, end of November was when I shot my first actual scene. But then I had a lot of like hurry up and wait. They're like, oh, we're gonna do it now, and then they don't contact you for another 3 weeks. They mess you up. Like, hey, you get ready next week, and they're like, oh, never mind, we'll see you in a few weeks. So like they would keep like scheduling is like very like fluid in this world. So a lot of like hurry up and wait. So I don't know. Some of the people might have been like selected since the summer. So like it's really interesting. So I got selected because I got kind of nominated. So what happened was I went to his wedding, my friend Ariba's wedding in Arizona, and I met, you know, my friend Nazish. She was there, and I guess because I had just seen her, I was fresh in her mind, and she lives in LA. and she is friends with this other girl named Sarah. She works on Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, the after episode. You know, the one they show you like what happens after. I forgot what it's called. She works on that. She's the producer on that. So when she went to an Emmy party and she met the creator of Indian Matchmaking, and they were like, "Hey, do you know any Muslim guys? Because like we have a lot of amazing women, but we're having a hard time finding guys." It was just that's what they told him. And then basically Sarah reached out to Nazja and she's like, "Do you know anybody?" And Nazja was like, "Hey, my friend Anib." And I actually had met Sarah once too, and she was like, "Yeah, he'd be perfect." And then she was like, "Hey, give him this link and have him fill out this form." I filled out the form as a joke because I thought it wasn't even real. So when they asked for my address, I wrote down homeless. Because first of all, I was like, I don't want people having my address.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, whatever, this isn't real. So I just put down homeless. And then they were like, and then they called me back and they were like, okay, the first thing you have to do is explain why you wrote homeless. And they were like, we almost didn't select you because of this. And I was like, listen, I travel a lot for work and just for general, never in one place. So I was being cheeky and I was like, I'm homeless, right? But yeah, that's how I got on the show. And then I got on a call with them and they liked me. And I was like, listen, I am serious about getting married. Like if you find me somebody, we'll turn this show into 9-Day Fiance real quick. Like I'm not joking around. Like I'm super serious about it. But you know, they liked me. And then like once they gave me the contract, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. But
that's when the negotiations happened.
Then we worked it out. But it was good. I was like, it was exciting. I don't know how other people got on the show, but that's my friend Naz is just how I got on the show.
Nice. And that call was the casting process? Like they asked you questions
it was
about...
it was a Zoom call.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did like 3 of those. I think like maybe 2 or 3 rounds of those. Yeah.
Wow.
Intense.
Yeah. Background checks, social media checks, they did all that. Yeah, allegedly. It's fine. But yeah, that's there's a lot of people that are like, yo, it's dating, so it's haram right off the back. And that's what I say, like it's not dating, it's just like a courtship. Like you meet somebody, they bring you food and you just have a conversation, and there's like 12 other people.
You're getting like way ahead of yourself. I have so many questions before you get to whatever you're talking about right now, about how did you get set up? Like you meet with one of the matchmakers and they like, what do they come with you? I don't know how much you can tell me of this, but like, do they come with like several applicants for you to be like, hey, choose from this list? Like, how does that work?
You'll just have to see. I can't talk about that.
Oh my God.
But I will say it's a different format than Indian matchmaking. It is a little different than Indian matchmaking. It's not the same exact format. I can say that at least.
Okay.
But I can't say how they do it. You'll find out in the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is a little different than Indian matchmaking.
So you said that there was like a lot of like slowness between when they first contacted you and then yada yada.
Yeah.
Like, does that mean that like you get that person's like is there courtship? Like are you texting or is that
this was when I say hurry up and wait, that was with production telling you, hey, we're gonna come to your house. So they didn't mention the girl at all. Yeah, they don't mention who the girl you're gonna go on the date with until you actually film that scene. So when I find out who that person is, that's generally the first time I see it. There's no retakes, there's nothing. Everything is real.
It's reality TV.
Yeah. Well, it's not reality TV, it's unscripted TV. So like basically, because there are parts of it that are like, you know, hey, why don't you reenact this or not reenact? There are parts of it that are like, we need to fill in the blank. Like, for example, like, you know, you see in the trailer, there's a girl sitting at a table and they go up to her. Obviously, that's not real because she's mic'd up and she has to sign a contract to be on TV. So like, you know, that part is like set up, but the conversations you're having isn't scripted. It's all real conversations.
Yeah,
so,
we know that girl. She's on the podcast many times.
Yeah. I know. So like the thing is like, there are parts of it that are like, you know, that person talking already has signed a contract. They already agreed to be on the show. They're already mic'd up. You know that. But the conversations they're having are completely unscripted. There's no script. Like no one told me what to say.
Yeah. Like
I'm
even
excited.
when it came to like your date, like they didn't tell you like this is what you should be doing so we can get this shot. Nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. They do tell you like, hey, this is what this person likes, so feel free to bring this up if the conversation is like stalling and stuff. So like,
Oh,
she
okay.
really loves cats. So like, you know, if you're having trouble with the conversation, bring up cats.
And did you get to choose your date, or you can't tell me that either?
No, you get match made. The matchmaker.
No, I know
sets
that.
up
No,
the
like
way.
the date that you went on, like you went on a bowling date. Did you get to choose that? Was
No.
that Neebs' choice, or is that?
No, I didn't choose the dates. I did not.
Okay.
But they do ask you like, what do you like to do for fun? So like, I would
Okay.
like, they were like, what's your ideal date? And I was like, my ideal date would be like taking a girl to Six Flags or a carnival, or like, you know, playing carnival games. And I guess like bowling would be like the closest thing to that they got.
Sure. Yeah.
That can take you to like Jersey,
An
whatever
arcade.
that place on the pier is. Yeah. Like,
I don't know. I'm a big fan of those dates. I like you know, just like, you know, you're going on a roller coaster and you're just waiting in line with your girl. It's like a nice feeling. I like it. It's cool. And you play like games and you win her prizes. Like, I think that's romantic and cool. So, I'm lame like that, right? So
that's adorable. Shut the hell up.
That's not lame at all. It's so endearing. I also think that like, again, on representation, it would be really, really awesome to just see people, whatever we're calling them, they're not dates, but like go on dates in these like, very normal situations, you know, because like just feel like people have that like preconceived notion, especially like I'm speaking from like a Hindu Indian perspective of like hush hush, we never go out and like we never do things publicly with our partner or whatever, you know, like I feel like it's really important to like publicize that in the sense that like, yeah, of course, like everyone has interests and hobbies. Like they're gonna go do something fun on a date because that's the issue.
Yeah. The only reason I don't call it a date is because you're there with like 30 other people. Like it's chaperone basically, right? So there's producers there, there's like chaperones there, there's camera people there. So you're not alone.
Talk to me about the chaperone situation, because that is something that's new to me and my understanding.
I mean, the chaperone would be either the matchmaker or your producer, right? So that's somebody that you kind of just have in your corner that's there. It's not like physically somebody's friend or something like that, but there is like your producer becomes your friend. They're like your advocate. So like my producer, you know, every day she would call me up, she would talk to me, she would give me advice, she would like hype me up, gas me up, and like tell me what to wear. Like I would like go and she's like, hey, send me pictures of like your top 10 outfits, and she would pick which one looks the best. So it's like she would help you out and be like your wingman and stuff like that. So your producer is like your chaperone or your buddy. So like you kind of have that, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have somebody there. And then like, you know, sometimes you'll like cut for a break and you'll be like, oh, you're doing so great, and then like it helps you out. It's nice to hear that in the middle of a date, because I did some dumb stuff. Like, what
did you do?
No, it's like basically one of the things that I did is like I've never been on a show before, right? So like somebody puts food in front of me, I'm gonna eat.
Hold on, Neebs, you're literally on a show right now, so I don't know what you're talking about.
the thing is, someone puts food in front of you, you're gonna eat it. I didn't know the food was just for show. It's like you're not supposed to eat food on the show, because as you're eating, the mic picks up the gross sound of you chewing.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
I didn't know that. So I'm over here like smacking away on my sandwich.
But that can't be real though. I mean, like so many shows have like food. Indian matchmaking had dinner dates or breakfast dates or whatever.
Yeah, but like while you're talking, you're not allowed to eat. So like you actually like they film you eating afterwards. Like they'll film you get like B-roll footage of you eating afterwards. They were so annoyed that I ate my food. They brought me more food and they were like, listen, this time don't touch it. So like you might see like half a sandwich like completely gone,
sandwich,
and then a full sandwich breaking continuity. Like it's just a brand new sandwich just appears out of nowhere.
Maybe that's why you can't judge a Love Is Blind people when they like drink, you know, half their drink. That's why they have the glasses though. But.
Yeah, that's why they have the glasses. It was funny. It really was. But it was cool to be mic'd up and have a conversation and like, but yeah, like I didn't see a picture. Like I didn't see nothing. I just got a name and a job. and like maybe like a hobby or two, like what they like. And then when I saw that
What
person
about,
come
like-
in,
Sorry, what about like ethnic background?
yeah, they gave me that, but they also asked you like, what are you cool with? And like I was like, I didn't care, like it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So but I think they did tell me their ethnic background. I think they did, but like that wasn't like an important thing. So I don't even, it didn't even register for me. But yeah, they did tell you that. And then basically like, yeah, when you see that person, you see him for the first time. It was scary.
I know they gave you ethnicities, but like with Muslim matchmaking, was it like different sects of Islam, or was it just like
They asked
Sunnis
you.
only? Okay.
No,
okay.
they asked you what your preference is. They were like, are you open to dating every across the sect? Like, does it matter if they're Sunni or Shia or like anything else? Like, they ask you all of that, and then you tell them your preference, and they'll set you up according to that.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll
okay.
even-
That's cool.
Nah, they'll even ask you. Like,
I was worried they may like exclude certain people. I was like, oh, that might be problematic. But good to hear they didn't.
I don't think they excluded anybody. I think they
Okay.
just had a small pool. I don't think a lot of people applied. I think the
Yeah.
pool was a bit smaller. That's how I got in.
That's so interesting though, because like from the trailer, it feels like it's pretty varied in terms of ethnic backgrounds.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know if they cherry picked people specifically to hit a casting, you know, like I don't know, just to have variety. Maybe they've cherry picked people, but like it
I don't know.
it felt like from the trailer.
I've heard that they had a decent pool of women, but not a good enough pool of men. Is this what I heard? So I don't know. It could be, could not be. But like the good thing, it's the first season, so you don't know. Like if people are going to apply, if people are going to like it, if people are about it. People don't know if it's like something to make us look bad. Like we've been screwed so many times in the past that every single person who's like prematurely hitting on the show, you kind of understand, because like how many times have they like thrown us under the bus and made us look bad, right? So it's like when you've been abused by an industry, it's kind of hard to be like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And for a lot of people, it's like, you know, wasn't worth it. So I kind of get that.
I get that. Yeah. It was also interesting to see the people's reaction to my video. A lot of people were excited. Also, you can tell by the numbers. I always say that, like, look at the numbers and look how like excited people are to actually, first of all, be represented, but secondly, like, watch this stuff. Like it's clear that there is a market for it, and it's like so annoying to me that it's constantly ignored. But like, it's just so interesting to me because it's such a nuanced conversation about Muslim representation.
Yeah,
that there's obviously going to be, you know, some negative comments, if not already. Like I know you saw that one under my video. That lady just went off about like the producer and like all this, like they just like find anything to like, you know, hate on it. And it's also just like I wish sometimes it would just be like, why can't we also appreciate how brave like these people are to go on a show like this to represent their people and their culture, because like that takes so much courage. And like even the matchmakers, like for that meet, like they're putting themselves out there only to be hated. And like it just kind of sucks.
That's very true, man. It's very true. I don't know. Like when I was on the show, I was like, listen, I have nothing going on in my life. I have nothing going on. I was like, I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't seeing anybody. I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? You know, so I just went ahead and did it.
Famous last words.
Yeah. It's one of the things and now it's almost here. It's 3 days away, so we'll see.
That's great. Oh my god, wow, crazy.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do you know if they're releasing it episode by episode, or is it gonna be all
everything's gonna drop on one day?
Oh, love that. Gonna be
so you can binge it. It's 4 episodes. I show up in the 4th episode, so I'm not even in the first 4 episodes. I am under the impression that I have a very small role, which I am very happy with. I do not need to be main character energy. I don't need that. I got on there, told my truth, told my story. I tried whatever I tried, and you'll see the results at the end. We'll see. But if they show very little of what happened, totally okay with that. Doesn't bother me. The less cringe they show, the better.
No, I want it to be full.
I want to be
talk
you.
about like did you get to talk about your podcast or anything, or can you not talk about that right now?
I made it a purpose not to talk about my podcast, but you know how I told you sometimes they'll tell you, but like, hey, this person really likes cats, so bring up a cast. If you're having trouble having a conversation. One of the producers told them that I have a podcast, and the question was brought up, and then I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't want to talk about this," but now they brought it up, so now I have to mention it. But turned out the other person had a podcast too, so I was like, "All right, so it's not as cringy." So yeah. So it wasn't too bad. I didn't want. I didn't want to.
Like, how hard would it have been to be like Anib Khan podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have found it eventually, you know?
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard. But the thing is, like, we're like, listen, I'm brown. I don't want to lead with that. I want to lead with the fact that I'm an engineer. I have a degree in electrical engineering. I have a very respectful job. I have a 401k. Like, I want to lead with that.
You have a 401k?
I feel like what sets you apart is the fact that you have a podcast and that you are a nerd and that you really lean into that shit. And then the engineer stuff is like just a bonus, you know? Like,
I do lean into the nerd stuff. They lean hard into the nerd stuff. A little too hard. I don't know what kind of... They ask me some weird questions. And I really hope they don't make it onto the show.
I hope they do.
Yeah,
I'm like, I love comic books, but I'm not that into comic books. Like, I'm not fantasizing about like female superheroes. Like, I'm not at that level of like geekdom. Like, I'm like, relax. It's not like I have like a Wonder Woman poster in the back of my freaking room or anything. So like, I'm like, relax. I love comic books, but like, I'm not a weirdo. But they were asking me some weird questions. Hopefully, they don't make it on the show.
You mentioned that there was. Sorry, I'm just like interviewing you at this point.
Yeah,
you mentioned that there was not a mixer, but you said that you like met up with some of the peeps after.
Yeah, so like not on purpose, but like if people are of the same religion, of the same ethnicity, you're going to find them at things like UPNA and ICNA and ISNA. If you attend these things, you're just gonna run into people, and I have run into a few people, and we learned we were part of the same little secret club.
Yeah, it's interesting that they didn't do a mixer like how Love Is Blind has one. Like
I think
they started implementing that like later on, but I guess it's also kind of like you said, incestual, because maybe there are certain contestants that are dating like multiple guys or multiple girls or whatever, so it's weird.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I'm trying to see that. We'll see. Maybe we'll start posting some stuff and see if any drama ensues. I don't know.
Yes, please.
There are some people who are on the show that like maybe I've been in their TikToks. Maybe they've been in my TikToks. You don't know. People will go back and experiment, and then like, which will be like, oh, wait a second.
They'll connect the dots.
They'll connect the dots, and they'll come up with conclusions that may not be correct.
Don't underestimate armchair armchair investigators. You see enough. You know how reality TV works, man. People do all this investigative work behind the scenes.
I know.
After the shows come out,
we'll see. I don't know. I'm super nervous. But the thing is,
nervous? Really?
I am nervous. I am super nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna be fine, my guy.
I am nervous. Listen. Sometimes you could be a great person and still make mistakes.
Okay, your mistake isn't as bad as some of the things I'm expecting to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like on the spectrum of bad things in a reality TV show, it probably isn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think so either. But things are weird on reality TV. The small, like, if there's not enough drama, people will create drama. So we don't know.
Yeah, sure.
The smallest thing.
Listen, I don't doubt on a show around people that there's no drama. I'm so sorry. That's impossible.
Yeah. I don't know. But like, I'm ready to dissect this show. But as soon as the show drops, I am not going to watch anybody's scene except my own. I'm just going to only watch mine. And then because I need to because I can't enjoy the show. The anticipation will kill me. I got to see my edit before I see anything else. Because I can't be like, oh, wait for my episode and then watch another episode and wait for it. No, I'm not going to watch it in order. I'm just going to go to my scenes and my scenes only. And then if I'm satisfied with my edit, I'm going to go back and watch the rest of the episodes in like with a little bit of peace in my heart. If I have a terrible edit, I will not. I'll just turn it off and lock myself in a corner and cry.
I'll take over the podcast. It's okay.
Yeah, it'll be Jazz's podcast after that. I hope we don't have too many episodes that have to deal with clearing up controversies. That's all I hope.
I hope we do. I would love to just.
Jazz, stop being so messy, man. You're extra messy today.
I freaking love reality TV thanks to you. So like, let's go, man.
I know. Well, let's talk about a little bit more about the trailer. What are some things about the trailer that you guys liked? There's one guy who makes a comment that he is the UN of dating. I heard a lot of people have an issue with that. Shiv, what is your reaction to someone telling you they're the UN of dating?
Like, I mean, see, this is the part that I feel like is going to create controversy is how people perceive dating.
Yeah.
Dating in this show, because I just feel like a comment
I
like
think so
that
too.
makes him seem so promiscuous, and I feel like that is like literally the antithesis
Yeah.
of Islam. So like, I don't understand.
What is bro doing? Brother, ew, brother, what is that?
The perfect game for this show. Oh my god, that would. If they had their marketing team was really on it, that would already be a meme, honestly.
Yeah, you know who would be great for the show? Onija. She should have been on this show.
Who's that?
Oh my god, you don't know about Onija? She is
Nope.
this lady from the Bronx who went to visit Pakistan because she was in an online relationship.
Oh, that's her name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, with a 19-year-old kid, and she catfished him with a Nicki Minaj filter. Then she stayed in Pakistan and held like press conference and said she was going to reconstruct Pakistan and asked them to give her land. Wild. She was bizarre.
And 2,000 a week, and
I love her. She did so much good PR for Pakistan. I loved it.
She did. Tourists just explode in Karachi. Like, let's go.
I know. Which is good because like all the people on this show may do the opposite. We might bring it back down.
Yikes. Do you think there's going to be like a mix of the show after it comes out? Since you guys like will already all know that you're on the show at that point?
I think if
like
there is
not a reunion episode, but you know.
I don't think they're gonna fly us out to one. I think if there is one, we might have to do one ourselves. We'll like put one together ourselves and do it.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll podcast will host. I'll fly in. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm down to do it too. I think it'll be really fun. Maybe we can
except
just,
for that one person.
Yeah. Well. Well, Jazz has an issue with one person on the show, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that.
Yikes.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I'm trying to coax him.
Think about the podcast views you would get if you said that you're hosting the unofficial reunion of
Dude, let's do it. We'll like live stream it and everything.
I'm down.
Legally, I don't know.
An unofficial reunion on our podcast. Let's go ahead and do it, man.
Fuck yeah.
All right. There was a girl on there who said she does not like hairy men. So good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Honestly.
Good luck finding a Muslim.
Oh my god. Also, sometimes I really wonder if God is playing a joke on us.
Yeah.
Because, like, we come from the hottest region in the world, and we have the most insulation for some reason.
I don't know.
I don't know why that happened. I don't know what is it? Evolutionary chain thing led to that, but I mean, it is what it is.
I'm Pathan. We're mountain people, so I have an excuse. I don't know about you.
No, like I'm from Karachi. It's like the hottest part of the world, right? And so, like, I don't know how we won out the genetic lottery. I guess.
I don't know. But the thing is, like, the trailer, which a lot of people don't like, is that these girls are being like picky and saying, "I want a guy who's tall. I want a guy who isn't hairy. I want a guy who's like this," and like, in their defense, the producers do ask you these questions. It's not like they're bringing them up like
Yeah, they'll
because
ask
they
like,
wanna bring it
what
up.
physical traits are you looking
Yeah,
for? Yeah,
yeah,
they'll say it. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to bring up physical traits. I was like, listen, person's kind, person's nice. I don't really care about that. I don't really care if a girl is super tall or super short, but they'll like press you. And then I'd be like, okay, fine. They'll tell you that, hey, listen, if you don't tell us, we're not going to be able to match you up with the right person. So like, if we want the biggest possibility of success. So the more you tell us what you like, the more possibility of success you'll have in the match. So then you're like, oh crap, then let me just tell you everything that I like. And and then if you just ramble these things off and on, it comes off like you're very like shallow. And I think that's one of the things that happens to a lot of people on the show. Cause like I think like I say a few physical features that I like, but like I'm not like married to those features. Like I don't really care if they don't have those features. But then they were like, you know, we want to do the best. We want a highest chance of success. So the more you tell us, the better it helps. So then you're naive and dumb like me, and you're like, sure, these are all the things I like. And then you just like, and if they
I like conventionally attractive women. I like not too. Like, how bad could it be?
I don't think it's that bad, but it could be. You know, I haven't seen the edit, but like these girls that are in the trailer that are saying like hairy men and tall men, like, you know, they're like, if that's what they like, that's what they like, and that's what they're telling them to get the highest level of success. So I can like the trailer makes it look like it's very shallow, but I can understand why they answered it the way they answered it. Now being on this side of the show.
I mean, but let's be frank here. Dating is a part of dating is shallow. Like you can't just like ignore physical attributes. Like that's ridiculous. And like in any other matchmaking show, you see the same thing. So it's not like this specific show had any comments we haven't heard before. Like the whole tall thing and the whole bald thing in Indian matchmaking, that was a big deal. Like I remember they said that, or like fair like I was shocked that this trailer, maybe it's still in the show, but colorism is obviously a huge thing with South Asian. That was a really big deal in Indian matchmaking. So I wonder, and obviously caste, but you know, I wonder if anything like are those attributes going to be talked about in the show as well? Or did they learn?
I mean, I didn't mention any of this stuff because like I don't really care about caste. I don't care about like, you know, nationality or race. It's really just like the religion and like how religious someone is, right? And they ask you things like, do you prefer hijab, not hijab? Do you prefer her to have a job or not a job? All these things they ask, right? So and to be honest, like they'll be like, you may not care that much if the person has a job or not a job. But then they're like, if we're setting you up for the highest level of success, tell us what you really feel. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure. I want to have a job, right? With the name, if she has health insurance, that's awesome. Like, hook it up.
Yes, right? I want a sugar mama. I want to just be on this podcast all day and talk about things, and she pays for everything.
I don't want a sugar mama. I just want to make sure that, like, if I lose my job, like, we don't lose healthcare. Like, we live in America, bro.
That's actually fair. That's so fair.
I was like, we live in America, bro. That's as long as she can pick up a job with healthcare, we'll be fine. We'll work it out. You know, but other than but like I can understand like answering these questions can come off shallow. So that's what I'm a little worried about that. So we'll see.
I hope some of our friends don't get thrown into the bus with that.
Yeah, there's the girl in the trailer who's like, you date hot guys, and she's like, yeah, and I was like,
oh, Bucky.
Yeah, so I was like, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So we'll see. But their rules are interesting. So Shiv, you talked about this a little bit. They have this rule. You have to give it, I think, 3 weeks of getting to know each other. And then 3 months of like actual like courtship. And then you have to answer 300 questions while you're during this courtship. Yeah. So we did like Zoom interviews and we like did these Zoom dates and we asked each other questions.
300?
Yeah.
Wait, like as in one sitting, 300 over the course of 3 months?
No, it was like 10 questions.
You should imagine just like instead of 21 questions.
Even then, you only need 40 questions to fall in love. Like it's not that hard.
I don't know. They said 300.
God, they're going overboard.
Process, Jeff. That is their process.
They're going
Also, like,
overboard. I can narrow that down very easily.
I don't know. That's what they do. That's what they do.
How do you can you answer how you feel after going through the process? Like, do you feel like that is something you would take with you going into dating now?
Yes and no. I feel like it is important, but I think if you go into these questions before you formed an emotional connection, then like it feels more like a job interview than like an actual relationship. So I think timing is everything on there. I feel like an emotional connection is something that's important to figure out first, and then you go through these questions. But though some of these questions you should ask first that are deal breakers. I feel like deal breakers are important because you don't want to waste anyone's time. So I think those are important. But like all 300 questions are, I don't think that, like, if you're doing that without the emotional connection, then like I think it's a little tough. I think it becomes a little cumbersome, and it feels like a little bit of a job interview, and it takes the romance out of it a little bit.
Do you feel like maybe because culturally dating is like expedited because of age, and also because that's just what we're expected to do, that's kind of why they put those types of questions on there? Because it's like they want you to get to the point of the matter quicker, because they're like, why waste, just like you're saying, why waste everyone's time with the deal breakers, but like maybe just in general they're like, don't waste time. Because like,
but
people just
I do think asking each other questions is still better than an algorithm, because it's not what they say when they answer the question, it's how they answer them that's important, right? Like, because if someone says, no, I don't like this, hard stop, or someone's like, I don't really love this, but like, you know, if it happens, it happens. Like, there's sometimes when you can understand when people answer questions from a place of kindness. Sometimes people answer questions from a place of trauma. And then when you have that human connection, you can give that person grace. But if you're answering these questions in a format, and then it's being thrown in an algorithm, you lose that human aspect of it. So in that sense, these questions are great. But I think the emotional connection needs to be there. I think that's a strong part of it.
Yeah. And do they, the 300 questions, like, what is the order that they suggest this? Like, not on your first date you're asking.
No, it's random.
Wow.
They sent us
so
random.
It can be from like, what's your favorite color to what's your credit score? Nice.
No, sorry. I meant like you're dating for 3 months, and when does that question date come into play? Do you know what I'm saying? Is that your initial date with them? Is that when you ask all
the initial date you don't get any questions. It's all about chemistry. The initial date is all about chemistry, and even your second date, you don't do questions. You don't do questions on the dates. You do questions in between dates. So like as you're texting each other, you have like these little Zoom dates and stuff like that, because like you might not see that person for another month because they're like filming, scheduling, all that stuff. So you want to keep talking to that person until the next date. So because of that, they have these Zoom dates, and these questions are a part of it.
So maybe it's just like prompts to guide people, because like what you see in dating apps is kind of similar, right? Like the way that people set up profiles, it has prompts that are questions of like, you know, what's on my bucket list or whatever it is, right? And then they like write their answer. Like, it's essentially the same thing, but it's like, I feel like maybe people are not like I think the 300 part is a little bit intimidating. Like, I just feel like that, like Jess said, like it just feels like we could have gone down on that number. But I mean, if it helps people have conversations, and I don't see it as a negative.
I think 300 just worked really well in marketing, and they were like, "That's a good number. It's got the 3 threes."
That's way too much, fam.
But it's spread across multiple dates, Jeff. And one thing.
That's true. What would be your number, Jazz?
My number of questions?
Yeah. What would be a safe number of questions?
40 questions. Done.
40 questions. Okay.
I can ask a girl 40 questions, and I can tell you within 5 minutes if I'm gonna love her for the rest of my life or I don't ever want to see her again.
Okay.
That's a rom-com in the making right there.
Dude, if you want to put it through the test, let's do it.
That's all right. We're gonna bring on some girls on the show, and Jasmine's gonna ask them 40 questions. We're gonna find out live.
It's like your right? It's just like 40 questions. Yes.
Oh, man.
You have no idea.
No. We'll see. But listen, I have 1 second in the trailer. I'm so happy with it. I did not need any more. I did not need any more. I don't need people dissecting that trailer. I don't need any of that stuff. I swear, I don't even know if people are gonna make it to my episodes. Like, they might give up after 4.
Like, the ability to give up on the whole show because it is so bad.
No,
I don't think so. I think it'll be good. It's like, if you've seen Indian matchmaking and stuff, like the showrunner knows what they're doing, the director knows what they're doing, and honestly, they do care about the subject matter. Like, they're like, we're not here to exploit people, and like, it really did feel like that. Like, they did feel either they're really, really good at their job and making you believe it, or they really, really do care. Like, they had in our contract prayer breaks for our 5 daily prayers.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
They made sure that all the restaurants that we went to were halal restaurants and Muslim owned.
Right.
So
Love that.
they were trying to really make a difference here. They were really trying to help. They're really trying to do
This is
something
the type
positive.
of PR that we need, though. Neves. Like, I feel like the controversy could be subverted if we would just talk about this.
Yeah. It was nice. Like the people behind the scene were all Middle Eastern, or the producers were all Muslim or Middle Eastern. Like, one girl would be like, "Hey, she's praying upstairs in my room," like, while we're filming. Like, the people were. It's a very inclusive kind of atmosphere, and everybody was really nice, and everybody really cared. Even the people that were there that weren't Muslim really cared about it. Like, they would come back to me and be like, "I learned so much from like filming this like season. I learned so much about your culture." They were so nice. Everybody was so incredibly nice. Like, even when we got halal food, they were like, "Whoa, like, this hot sauce, I never had anything this spicy." And I'm just like, that's just mayonnaise.
I think that's medium.
Like, sorry, man. But no,
So the halal guy's red sauce, though?
Yeah. I mean, no,
That's actually the halal guy's red sauce is definitely something
that is
unexpected for most people.
No,
Yeah.
it
It's not so sriracha.
Yeah. No, but honestly, like, it was a really, really good experience, because everybody was really nice. Everybody was really kind. Nobody looked like they wanted to be shady. But like, yeah, they get stuff out of you that you may not want to answer, because yes, they want to make good quality stuff.
Good reality.
But they want to make good reality TV. Like, that's the main thing, right? But that doesn't mean they're going to like stomp over everyone to make it. And I feel like there's a balance. You can have a good story, and you can also tell a good narrative, but also be respectful to the culture and show an authentic representation. Like, it's not going to show everybody in a great light, because if you show Islam perfectly, well, let me rephrase. If you show Muslims perfectly, that's not authentic. That's propaganda.
That's
right?
propaganda.
We're not perfect. We have flaws, right? You can say the religion Islam is perfect, but you can't say Muslims are perfect. We're flawed. And if you show everybody being a perfect Muslim, it's not authentic to the demographic in the United States. So it would be more propaganda than it would be realistic. So yeah, you're going to see some things that you don't agree with, but you have to understand that it's part of reality. And
that's why it's reality TV.
Yeah, and listen, we're not perfect, and like, I want people to take that and think about it when you go online and write mean comments on people's message boards or on their Instagram page, mostly mine. but other people too, but mostly mine. Be nice. I'm sensitive.
Watch you end up being a villain. I can't wait.
I know. I was gonna say, I feel like it's not the producers that are the villains; it's the editors. But the producers definitely field them those questions. I feel like when the show comes out, it would be really like beneficial for you to, if you can, to say how your experience was, like, in terms of seeing that type of representation off screen with like all the people that you mentioned, and like how their experience was. Because I just feel like you don't ever get to see that side of reality TV, but also how important it is for people to understand like what goes on shows that have this type of cultural representation, because a lot of the times they feel like they're exploiting them for the culture, and I feel like it's not the case.
They were very sensitive to a lot of things. They even, because the war in Gaza was happening while a short portion of when we were filming this, they gave us free mental health counseling to talk to a therapist about what's happening in Gaza, if that was making it difficult for us to film and stuff. So they offered that to us for free. And even after the show was over, they were like, hey, it's still available to you. Like months after filming, they were like, yeah, if you still want it, you can do it. So they were very sensitive to that. And I really, really appreciate that. They did go above and beyond to really make us feel like, we were part of something, positive, and not being something that's going to be like trashy TV. They really did do a good job of that. That being said, who knows how it's edited? We don't know. We don't know how it's edited.
I was going to say, do you feel like because for Indian matchmaking, Indian isn't a religion, and with Jewish and Muslim matchmaking, I feel like I can't really remember what happened with Jewish matchmaking in terms of how the community received it. But do you feel like that's why there's already so much of a negative outlook on this because religion is attached to it, rather than saying like South Asian matchmaking or Desi matchmaking? Obviously, we can't really do that because we did Indian matchmaking. But like,
do
you feel like that's why it's being so looked down upon already just from the get-go?
I think it's scrutinized for a couple of reasons, right? Number one, they're using the word dating, which is why I'm staying away from that word dating, because what's happening on the show really isn't dating, but that term has like this negative connotation in society. It's like something you shouldn't be doing, so why are you promoting this, right? So I think that's opening it up to scrutiny. The other thing is the trauma from other shows, making us look bad. Homeland, 24, like every show that we've been in, all the Netflix shows that have women ripping off their hijabs and stuff like that. We have PTSD from shows. Like they have not had a good track record. So, it's hard for us to, as a community, trust the show and trust people will do things right. So I think those two things are what's really driving any kind of negative reaction to these shows. And like when you're, part of a religion, I think people have a hard time separating the religion from the people who follow the religion, because people who follow the religion are not perfect. And when you see a Muslim who isn't perfect, you're like, this person represents all of Islam, and that's why he should be scrutinized. And in actuality, you're doing the same thing that the white people do whenever there's a terrorist attack. You take this one Muslim and you're painting a brush and generalizing everybody with it. You're doing the same thing, just on a different spectrum. So, that's how I feel about it. I feel like these things are going to really bring a lot of extra scrutiny to the show. But if the show is edited the way it was filmed, it might surprise people. It might be the opposite, and people's expectations being really low might be a benefit to the show. So
I think it being titled Muslim Matchmaker is like major, even just as simple as that. Like I felt like that in and of itself was like a really big deal. Attaching the word Muslim to something, especially in this country, in this very day and age, is just like I was super proud to see it. So like, I wouldn't call it bold. I just feel like that's what we should be doing, and it just felt really nice to see it. So,
the other thing about this show is what's another thing that's really fascinating is how all the legal things work. It's so interesting because like if they filmed in my house and I have all these posters, they had to go through every single character and get like permission. And I was like, wow, even like a background character. Like I have like all these posters and they were like, yeah, you need to move that poster. We got to take that poster out. Like it was really interesting.
To just go into like a blank ass room and just record.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do at some point. But like, the legal part is so interesting. Every store I go into, they have to make sure there was nothing that could be like legally binding. It was really fascinating. Like everything I was wearing, I couldn't wear like a Nike shirt or anything with a brand, anything with a logo. Like I think there's one.
Did you wear halal shirts?
I had to turn some of them inside out because it was very complicated. Like it's a whole legal issue. Also, like if you have like a little kid on an episode with you, like my niece was like going to be in one of the scenes, and they were like, to have a child under a certain age, there's like a whole different legal team dedicated to that. It's so fascinating. Like that part of being on the show was really enlightening, and it's really cool to see and be on that side of it. It's like an education that you can't get unless you're actually part of this industry.
Yeah, I've experienced that with brand deals where they say that in terms of clothing and like what's behind you. Like I have like art in my home that I've made, and they're like, "Who's the artist behind this?" And I'm like, "It's just me, dude." Like, like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like no, that is so interesting. Again, something that you can share maybe after it airs. Your little BTS.
Yeah. We'll do it. I mean, listen, we'll do another episode. We'll bring you back, and you can scrutinize after seeing the show all of my mistakes, all my rights and all my wrongs. But you must defend my rights and my wrongs. You have to defend my wrongs.
I don't support men's wrongs and rights, though. Unfortunately, I only support women's wrongs. That's me.
I had to ask.
Yeah.
Listen. All I gotta say,
I really don't think it's that bad.
It's not. But listen, I don't have the best situational awareness. That's all I can say. I have bad situational awareness, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. You'll have to tune in and find out what that means. Yeah. But there were some really emotional parts in this show, though. I remember that, like, filming. I don't know if it'll make it, but there was like a scene where like I cried.
Whoa!
Wow!
Yeah. The producers are just too good. They found a nerve.
I feel like that's
and a soft spot, and then they pounced on it, and then like, yeah, bro, I needed a napkin. My voice cracked.
Have you
and
watched
everything.
Unreal Needs?
Yeah, I have watched it.
That's exactly what this is sounding like. The way that you're talking about producers, that like they like coax you into getting some really juicy shit, you know?
I mean, I want to go through that. I want to go in the show just to show them like they can't break me.
Oh, I'm easily broken. I'm like the worst. Yeah. I'm so naive. I fell for every trick in the book. I think I gave my social security number at one point.
758-652319.
No, man, it was a cool experience. It was cool to be on that side. Like you'd be surprised what like someone can get you to say just by a little awkward silence.
Yo, that doesn't work on me.
Yeah.
Oh no, if people try to like do the awkward silence trick on me, I'm just so petty and arrogant, I will fight back with even more awkward silence. I'll sit there and stare at them. Like, we can do this all day, bro. Let's go.
I don't know. I mean, no. Sometimes like they're asking me stuff about things I actually cared about, so it's kind of hard to not get emotional about some stuff. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
So nothing wrong with getting emotional. I don't know why you're saying it like a negative, Neebs. All right.
It's not a negative, but it's I don't know.
I don't see it.
No one wants to see themselves cry on TV.
Sure, but I think again, it's endearing. So I don't think it's negative. It's also really important to see brown men show emotion. So I hope they show it.
Yeah, we'll see.
It means he's the only guy on the show showing emotion. Everybody else is acting all tough like me. It's gonna be great.
You can find it in the Snyder cut. All right. Before we go, there anything else you guys want to ask before we head out?
No, but I'm gonna make a list once I watch it, though. You best believe.
Right?
If you don't help me back, I'm gonna text her.
I'll have you back. I'll be back. I'm actually going to be in Chicago next week, so I will not be here for the premiere. But a week after it airs, we'll let it breathe a little bit. We'll see what people are saying out in the ether, and then we'll drop some episodes.
Should let's come back here to this Zoom link. We'll do it anyways. Yeah, it'll be great. We'll see without him.
Do it. All right.
Let's dissect it. You make fun of Neebs the entire time without him knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah, feel free to make fun of me. I know. I hope I don't become a meme. That's my worst nightmare. I
hope you do. I hope you become the meme of positive, non-toxic masculinity. Like, I want you to be that guy.
All right, maybe we'll see.
I love that. I love that.
Well, thank you everybody for listening, and let us know what you think about this show. If you got a chance to watch it, let us know. Right now, we're just talking about the trailer. We're not leaving out any big secrets, but until next time, Salaam, nerds. Oh wait, Shiv. Before we go, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at chivalry_Inc. That's chivalry spelled SHIVALRY.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, Salaam, nerds.
Peace.